Tell me something. What set Mr. Miyagi apart from the others? And no, it wasn't the crane technique. No defense if done right. Ooh, hey, hey. No. Longevity. Master Miyagi, Master Miyagi, was probably 130 years old, and he looked like he was not a day over 70. Anyways, I just saw this podcast with Mark Bell, his Power Project, in which he interviewed the Mr. Miyagi of nowadays, which is Dr. Andy Galpin. And Dr. Andy Galpin is one of those guys who knows everything, and he is one of the top or leading researchers in terms of human performance. And they asked him about longevity. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna give you 4 key points for longevity, and I'll give you a 5th extra one. So I was like, okay, let's take some notes. So with these notes, I'm gonna make this video. So pass the intro. Of course, longevity has a lot of components, and obviously, if you don't do these with or in accordance with a healthy diet and healthy sleeping habits and stuff, you're not gonna have as much results. But when you talk about specific body functions, specific human performance, and the way you want to have more quality of life throughout the years, and this is might not be just for the professional athlete, but also for the person who never did anything in terms of fitness, or for your parents or for your grandparents, or if you're, I don't know, a stay-at-home mom who is 50, I don't know, whatever. This is suitable for everybody. And let's start from the beginning. So the first one is your motor. Nice one, DeLorean. When you talk about motors in terms of, okay, enough now. When you talk about motors in terms of human body, you're talking about the heart. So what you want to do first and foremost is challenge your heartbeat a little bit. You don't want your motor to be used always at the same tune. I don't know much about motors. The same carburation. You want to spice it up a little bit, which means that you want to raise your heartbeat every once in a while in order to get it ready for when life occurs and the heartbeat goes up anyways. So what you want to do, if you never work out, probably just going up a flight of stairs or walking up the street or going for a jog, that will be more than enough to challenge your heartbeat a little bit. So the first thing is you want to practice and you want to work on the heartbeat, the heart. That was rule number 1. Rule number 2, fast learn rule number 1. Second rule will be to sustain that cardiovascular output. So if you're raising your heartbeat, you want to raise it continually. So for a longer time, be able to manage it so it's work capacity. So instead of a flight of stairs, you can go up your entire building. If you go for a jog of 100 yards, you can go for a 30-minute jog. Get my drift? He also says that you can do this with circuit training, which is a little bit better. That way you can go through different motions. If you do 10 squats, then you run all the way over there, and then over there you do 10 burpees, and then 50 jumping jacks, and then you come back in a bear crawl. Whatever. That will up the heartbeat, and then keep it steady for longer, because you want that work capacity. This is the third one. You want to teach your muscles or not let them forget how to contract. Muscle contraction is something that you either practice or practice. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing is when they reach, I don't know, 40, 50s, and they haven't done any type of fitness in a long time, and they're afraid of dying, so they start working out. And what they do every day is running. They go running every day. And although they're raising their heartbeats and working on their endurance, what they're not doing is working on their type 2 muscle fibers, you know, the fast twitch muscle fibers. You really want to be able to contract. And if you use your entire body when you're doing this, you will never have any problems with getting up or raising yourself out of a chair, or walking that flight of stairs, or going from here to there, or you know what I'm saying? Or any type of grip movements, because grip is very much linked to better health overall, and especially blood circulation, for example. Think of a senior person, for example. When they're walking up the stairs, they have to hold on to the banister. And if they don't hold on to the banister, if they're not strong enough to do it or pick up things, they might fall. So don't lose grip of your type 2 muscle fibers. We've been going in small increments. So we started with heartbeat, then we kept it up for work capacity. Now we talked about contraction, muscle contraction. What comes next? Speed. So contracting a little quicker, doing stuff a little quicker. So the faster you are in doing stuff, the better prepared you'll be for real life. What I mean by this is, he actually uses this sentence, which I find very interesting, which is, when you stop jumping, you start dying. That's what makes the difference between the better athletes and the not as good athletes. So a better, or the best athletes will recruit and will contract their muscles in the shortest amount of time possible. That's why they might do 1 or 2 reps of squats, and they get a huge workout doing more than 1 set, obviously. And the beginners, if they do that, it's like, okay, since the weight that they're using is relative to their level, they're never gonna do 1 or 2 reps and be okay. They have to do like 8, 10 reps in order to really learn, and their muscles learn their contraction IQ. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're working your contraction intelligence. So what you should do now is you should work on the speed that you're contracting with. So a person who can run will either try to do sprints. A person who only walks up the stairs and gets a great workout will try to do it a little quicker. So that way we can understand that metaphor of not being able to jump means you're starting to die slowly. Because you have to really be quicker in order to really enjoy good quality of life and good longevity. So do work that muscle IQ. Dr. Andy Galpin at the end talked about a 5th one. A 5th and final extra one, which is like the cherry on top of the cake. You have to work on your mobility and coordination as well, so this will work and this will be very handy, which is those type of animal flow slash movement culture exercises with no set patterns. In these exercises, you're trying to defy and develop your body awareness, your spatial awareness, and your proprioceptive ability. So with these 5 key elements, you have a little bit of everything. And notice that he did not put mobility or coordination on top of the others. The others are the fuel. If you don't have the fuel, it's no use going extra on the mobility or on the flexibility. If you have enough mobility to do everything that real life requires, you should work on something other than that. So it will always depend on the individual, obviously. But what's good about this knowledge is you can actually gather it up all together in circuit training. So once again, if you gather 4 or 5 exercises and you do them in a circuit fashion, you can get the most out of all these elements. And that will be the most important thing for you and your quality of life throughout the years. Who knows, maybe in 50 years you'll still be commenting on my videos and saying that I'm a piece of shit. So I hope this helped. I'm gonna put the link in the description below, because these are tools in your toolbox, and we all should share information, not keep it to ourselves. That way we can live a longer life. So be Willow strong and have yourself a big longevity overall, for good. Next exercise will be the sex exercise. And I heard that after 40 up, it gets better, right? I'm dying to get there. It's called the kettlebell swing. You're gonna do a hip hinge. So you're gonna bend at the hip as if you were picking something from the ground. So